Part two of my Everding Summit journey. So this weekend was a training event that for people that wanted redemption for another mountain or the same mountain, or people that just weren't unsure, people like me basically. This event was specifically for people like me who may not know anybody, who may not have a tribe, who may not have a red hat, who may just want the extra training experience if they do have a red hat. And so I drove 6.5 hours through all of Tennessee, down to Mississippi, dipped into Alabama, spent an hour in North Carolina, and then the Appalachian resort that we went to was 7 minutes from the North Carolina border, so the Georgia-North Carolina border. I thought it was like outside Atlanta. So imagine my surprise when I'm like, why the hell am I in North Carolina? So I texted my best friend, I'm like, can you see my location? And she's like, North Carolina? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Apparently I'm in the wrong, maybe I'm in the, anyway. So I get there and the event starts and they go around the room. There's like 35 people there. It's very intimate. So we go around the room and Coach Chris is like, so tell me who you are and why you're here, or where you're from and what you're doing, like mountain. And so it gets to me and I stand up and my voice is shaky because I don't like standing up in front of groups of people that I don't like. And I'm like, hi. And I'm like, are you going to start crying just by saying hello? Like, calm down. So I had to so then I was like, hi, my name's Jen. Why is that getting me emotional now? Quit. So I said, hi, my name's Jen. I'm from Memphis and I'm nervous. I'm really scared. I don't know what to expect. But I'm here. And it still gets me choked up now because I was so scared to do this. So scared to do this, but I showed up anyway. And I was scared that people were already going to have their tribe. I was scared that no one was going to like me. I was scared that I would be too slow and no one would want to hike with me, or I was afraid that I was going to be surrounded by actually endurance athletes and feel totally imposter syndrome, And I'm just telling you, 2 people immediately after the intro ceremony came up to me and they're like, hey, Craig was one of the guys. Hey, my name's Craig, I'm from New York, and I was there at Tremblant with you, and I remember that event, and you're gonna be fine, and all that stuff. And I was like, thanks. And we got to know each other, and we learned about his family and all that stuff. And then another fella came up to me and was like, hey, my family's actually, I went to White Station, I'm from Memphis. I was like, that's so cool. And he also lived in New York. So immediately I just felt welcomed. And so my point of sharing this was that, I'm sure other people have felt like walking into rooms where they don't know anybody and then immediately requiring you to be vulnerable is hard. And it is. But the difference, I think the only difference is to do it anyway, to do it scared, but to do it anyway. And a lot of people use fear as an excuse to not do something. And I just feel that this weekend taught me that fear is the brain's reminder of trying to protect you, hang on, Jen, I don't know if we should do this. Have you thought through all of this stuff? So I want to tell you how this whole thing came about and how this event truly, I think, has changed my life. So I don't want to get up in the morning. I'm like, okay, shit, I've got to get up at 5 in the morning. I don't like getting up early. So the negative self-talk's like, what are you doing? You don't like getting up in the morning. What are you doing? So I get up. And I sleep okay. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? We have to ascend this mountain, which is, I think it's called Brasstown. I'm not sure. But it's 1,600 feet elevation gain, vertical gain, whatever the term is. And my coach told me that the goal was to do 4 or 5 ascents and come back for part 3. I'll tell you more.